Hi guys, sorry it's taken me a while to give you guys our year-end reviews of the 2025 to 2026 school year. So when I had a 9th grader and a 4th grader. If you see me looking down, I'm using my Mardell Simple Planner because I have some notes down here because I don't want to forget anything. But it's taken me a while to get this video up because we've just had a crazy, unusual summer. We've had an extended family member devastating diagnosis, so prayers would be appreciated. So we've just had an unusual summer and had to come together differently with busy schedules with our family just to support one another. But I wanted to dive in and let you guys know after we completed our school year, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we had to change things up, or if there were some things like we really enjoyed. So I wanted to share that. So starting with Bible. So the Bible recap, we absolutely love this. So I decided to change it in the way of doing it 2 to 3 days a week instead of every day, because we've decided to complete it over 4 years instead of 2 years, because I just wanted to allow time to really chew on it and not have to rush through things, but we really enjoy it. And then also, if you have not completed Answers in Genesis, Homeschool Edition Answers Bible Curriculum, I highly recommend doing that before going into the Bible recap. Again, no matter what age. I do have a flip through video that kind of explains that already on my channel. You guys can check out. And then let's see, our not consumed studies, we absolutely love those, and we complete those about 2 to 3 times a week on days that we typically aren't doing the Bible recap. And then our morning basket, we do those on days we aren't doing our main Bible, and we've really enjoyed. I grabbed one of the books we really enjoyed completing. It was Answers in Genesis, Flood of Evidence. This is considered their Answers book number 5. We really enjoyed this. So that wraps up Bible for the year. Now language arts. So my youngest did the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts Level 3, the old edition. And this was my second time going through that with a child, and we just absolutely love that edition and that level. And now for my high schooler did IEW Structure and Style Level B, Year 2, and Fix It Grammar Level 4. We love it, and it's just great writing structure, and really makes it to where your students can easily structure out what their paper is going to be and then write it. So we just have loved how IEW has completely changed our homeschool for the better when it comes to writing. And then we also did for literature, Generations, Great Christian Adventures. We absolutely love that. And then with that, we only do one of the essays out of the novels that we do, and we normally do the last one for that. And then ACE etymology, so that's our word building, our spelling vocabulary. We decided, because of my high schooler's workload for the school year, we split that in half. So we only completed 6 out of the 12 paces due to that workload, but we absolutely loved it. Now with math, my youngest did the Good and the Beautiful, Simply Good and Beautiful Math Level 3, and we absolutely loved that. And my high schooler completed Math UC Algebra 1, the Legacy Edition. So with this course, I had to help explain concepts better, which is completely fine because I was previously a math tutor and TA, so I absolutely love math. And my child would do great on the weekly tests, but the unit and final exams ended up being more difficult. And my child said that they wished that the more complex concepts were explained better. And as those concepts were getting more complex, he was finding that the videos became shorter and shorter instead of explaining it further. So, and then he also felt like there wasn't enough review weekly with even the systematic review worksheets, which is pretty much half of the worksheets that you complete for the lesson. So, and we have completed between both of my children all of the levels of Math UC from Algebra 1 and underneath, and we absolutely loved those. But we were pretty disappointed with Algebra 1 this year. And again, we chose not to do the new principles course because it's taught completely different. It's not Mr. Demi on the videos teaching. A lot of it's online. Yes, you can print some things off, but I wanted to stick with the structure that we were used to with math. So I was just pretty disappointed overall with Matthew C. Algebra 1 Legacy Edition. Then for history, so my youngest completed Master Books America's Story 2, and we only do the textbook. We don't get the teacher guide, which is all the worksheets and everything, and this is my second time going through this, and we absolutely love it. And then my high schooler completed The Mystery of History, Volume 3, and we just love The Mystery of History. We did adjust things. We stopped the lecture videos due to just the overall time and the overall day of time with schoolwork. So I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and cut those out. And they were recorded classes with other students, and it wasn't just Linda talking one-on-one with your child. So that was just a little different than I expected, even with looking at the samples that were online. But again, we absolutely love The Mystery of History, and I absolutely recommend it, and we just love it so much. And then we did The Good and the Beautiful History Year 1, and I combined both of my children with this one. We absolutely loved it, and we learned a lot of new things. Even doing history for 10 years, we learned a lot of different things with history, and it's just so great that how you can just incorporate another curriculum in, and you get different aspects and different perspectives of history. So we really enjoyed that this year. Now for science, my youngest completed Master Books God's Design, Heaven and Earth, and these that God's Design have 3 units in them. So we went and learned weather and water, universe, and planet Earth. And we, again, only do the textbook for this. We don't get the teacher guide, which is all the worksheets and everything. I've done that before with my oldest, and that's geared towards more middle school ages, I feel like. And so elementary, just learning the material and being able to deep dive in some of the things that you learn is the best way that's worked for our family. And then also, I'm not sure if you guys know, but the God's Design books, the Master Books carries, they were written by Answers in Genesis, since Master Books is their publisher, and Master Books just combine them into one textbook instead of having 3 separate textbooks. So that's a little insider information there. So now for high school, Apologia Biology with Lab. We absolutely love how the courses are simply laid out. They're open and go. We did notice that this textbook was much larger than previous ones we've done because we've completed physical science, and we did that for high school credit, and general science. So since the textbook was a lot larger, we noticed that with the paper test, it was really hard to weed through that amount of information needed for the test from the whole entire module, even with taking notes. So this time you don't have guided notes like in the previous courses. They are needing to take their notes themselves. So we decided to switch the test to the online auto grade plus. And that was a game changer, and we absolutely love that because it helped weed through that information. Things are multiple choice. They had drop down boxes. They had matching and different thing like that. And so that was a better fit for us. And then I did contact them because it's through the app Canva. That it saves what grade they got on the test, but it doesn't show what the answers were or what the questions were and how they answer that. So they recommended I screenshot those. So instead of my high schooler using their laptop, I had my high schooler use our iPad. So then when they were done, they didn't X out of it. Then I would go through and I would screenshot each of the tests. And when I would scroll through, and then I would upload those photos to a Word document or like a Google document, and I would print that off for high school records to have the test for records. So that's what I did with that. We absolutely love the videos for the labs. It's just great, especially with dissection this year and using a microscope with slides for the first time. It was great to have that guided video on there, so I highly recommend that. And I believe after doing my research, Apologia is one of the only high school curriculum companies out there that they do show step-by-step experiment instruction. BJU does not do this because we returned that biology course once I looked into it further after purchasing it. And I talked to brand builders and they don't either. So that's another reason why we went with Apologia. And then I absolutely love the lab kits from Nature's Workshop Plus. They are just so well organized, way more affordable, and they give you a list of the extra home items that you might need, like water, or if you need a pot and pan, or some perishable items. So simple things that you would have around the home. Let's see. Yep, and we ended up purchasing our microscope from Apologia because the one I had purchased that was a lot less expensive on Amazon just did not hold up and let us see what we needed to. And my sister-in-law bought a different one from Amazon. It was even more difficult to just see what we were supposed to see. So we bit the bullet and we purchased the more expensive microscope for just peace of mind to be able to see what we needed to see for the slides for those labs. So that wraps up science for the year. Absolutely love Apologia. So for electives, we absolutely love Breaking the Barrier. For Spanish 1, we did Vamos Level A. We absolutely love that, and it was a much more engaging and organized and better laid out than BJU. I'm so grateful that we changed directions and went with that. Absolutely love Breaking the Barrier for Spanish. My high schooler also completed Master Books, Foundations in Faith. And so for the transcript, I'm labeling that course. So, biblical doctrine. But we absolutely love that. My high schooler wanted to take that after meeting Israel Wayne in person last year at a homeschool convention. And he just absolutely loved that and did that independently and learned so much. And then we also, my high schooler did Master Books Cultural Issues Volume 1, which is Apologetics. So we're labeled as Apologetics 1. So we were going to just cover the new Answers Book 1 from Answers in Genesis. We absolutely loved it, but we did, after a couple days, we ditched the workbook. We just had natural discussions as my high schooler and I, like 2 or 3 times a week, would just read through the book. And so that was sufficient, and we absolutely loved it, and we learned so much. So I'm glad that we only covered one book in a school year. And then we also went together as a family. We did The Good and the Beautiful, Health and the Human Mind. We did that one time a week, and we absolutely loved it. Learned so much. And then we also did Simply Charlotte Mason, Laying Down the Rails, Habit Training. We've done this for years. So the habits that we covered this year was self-control, self-restraint, and indulgences, and neatness. We absolutely love it, and we do that one time a week. We also did on Fun Fridays with my sister-in-law and my nieces. We went through the Answers in Genesis Bible study, which was the Genesis account of Noah. We absolutely love that. Love the engaging videos they have on there and the workbooks and just the questions and getting to deep dive into that historical account in Genesis. And we ended up only covering that for this school year because we found that we needed to split the lessons up in 2 or 3 times instead of completing one lesson per week. So just a heads up on that. And then because of having to do that, and then there are times that we have things where we couldn't get together on certain weeks, or if a child was sick, we couldn't do it. So we weren't able to get to the Lost Bible study just yet. So we will do that when we at a later time. And then my high schooler also worked on Master Books Academy Strength and Conditioning for PE. We have found that we do better working on that in the summer. We just found that during the school year, we didn't always have time to work out and go through that. So we've continued to work on that during this summer, and we'll continue to work on it when we have time. But we absolutely love that course. It's simply laid out, and the videos are great that go along with that. that, I highly recommend it, and we just love that. So that wraps up our year-end review of the 2025-2026 school year with my 4th grader and 9th grader. And I hope you guys have had a wonderful summer, and I hope you guys had a great school year as well. If you have any questions, go ahead and pop those down in the comments, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Happy homeschooling.